There we go, Team Steen coming at you with the vlog 2 of 22 on how to naturally boost your anabolic hormones, your growth hormone, and testosterone through nutrition intake, namely carb cycling or reverse dieting, people are calling it lately. It's how I've gained 15 pounds of muscle mass more than I've ever had at the age of 47 as I'm preparing why vlog number 22, because I'm 22 weeks out from my contest this year. It's a pro contest going against the world champ, and I'm 15 pounds heavier than I've ever been and leaner ever before at this stage. And a lot of people are accusing me of taking steroids, growth hormone injections, and taking drugs. I've never done that. I'm holistic and natural as they come. The only reason why I preach about that is because I think it's important that people get a true role model, a natural bodybuilder that's living holistically, to role model what works and what doesn't work. The two strategies that I'm going to talk about today has what allowed me in the last 6 months to reopen my mind to what's possible for me as a natural athlete. And this video, I want to give a shout out to Ido, IDO from Indonesia, one of my biggest supporters. About every other day, he private messaged me on Facebook and asked me how big my arms, and he thinks I got some of the biggest natural arms in the world. I don't think so, but hey, Ido, this one's for you, buddy. I promise a shout out. So, what happens to our anabolic hormones, testosterone, growth hormone? They're solely responsible for making us young and vivacious in the age of 10 to 20 years old. We know what that endless energy feels like. We know what that metabolism screaming feels like. That's because our anabolic hormones are high. What makes a guy have a deep voice, muscles, lean, abs, sex drive, energy all day long, no matter how you live? That's what we're talking about here. The main reason why I've been able to make gains at an unfounded rate than I've ever before is because I have finally got over the barrier of being afraid of carbohydrates. Almost everybody's afraid of carbohydrates. We're phobics of carbs. And even myself, when I finished my football career in 1989, I had a 40-inch waist. I did not know how to eat. I didn't know how to lift like a bodybuilder, and I was afraid of carbs. And I've slowly learned the values of carbs as a natural bodybuilder. But even I had a phobia. So we're going to talk more about to give you the info on how to make better choices for you and exact ratios of carbs, at least a starting point. Our natural hormones get lowered because of our lifestyle. Overtraining, undereating, working out. We're stressed out at work. So let's start talking about the carbs. Starchy carb intake, or reverse dieting as they call it. Just think about it. Everyone's done the dieting thing where they eat a salad a day and walk 10 miles. What happens? You lose your drive, you lose your energy, you lose your muscle, and you create the yo-yo syndrome because you can only do that so long. Reverse dieting, it's a term I'm not really fond of, but it really slowly giving yourself more starchy carbs. Starchy carbs are broken down into glucose. That's the gasoline for your engine. So as you slowly build up your metabolism, build up your muscles, you require more and more starchy carbs. What are they? Rice, oatmeal, potatoes, quinoa is a really nice one with no gluten in it, banana. Those are examples of starchy carbs. Veggie type carbs, you eat them with protein, eat every 3 hours. They're pretty much free food. It's almost like styrofoam. We're not talking about that. Veggies, green beans, salads. An apple is a fruit, but it fits in there. So that's the difference between starchy carbs, which is the gasoline broken down into glucose. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, so we all have been there before. We all have a genetic metabolism we're born with. How are you going to figure out what your genetic metabolism is? It's easy. It's what was your body fat percentage? What body type did you have when you were 16 to 17 years old, when you didn't know anything about eating or working out? If you're stick skinny, real thin, you could eat anything, you're an ectomorph. If you're right in the middle where you wouldn't get really fat, but you're not really skinny, you're sort of an endomorph right in the middle. Mesomorph is a person who get really heavy, maybe obese if they didn't watch it, so they're relatively heavy. That's going to give us a starting point, a genetic metabolism of what you were when you're 16, 17 years old. Now there's a second thing, a lifestyle-induced metabolism. What have you been doing for the last 20 years, physically speaking? Have you been losing muscle mass, which we all do, or have you been in the gym trying to build up muscle mass by living an active lifestyle? How many carbs are you eating now? How many starchy carbs per day are you eating now? And how often per day are you eating? So we all have a genetic metabolism, and we've all either sabotaged it or repaired it like I did over the last 10 years of eating smarter. So that's going to come into play when we start to figure out how many grams of starchy carbs you need to eat for your starting point of this program. I promise everyone that we'd give a rough outline of where everyone can get started if you have no idea. So let's start out with basic. Let's make it really simple. Simple always works best. We got a small person, a medium person, and a large person. Okay? A small person is going to consume 150 grams of starchy carbs per day. That's a starting point. That's a goal. If your metabolism is sabotaged, if the small person is 150 pounds or less, a medium build person is 175 pounds ish, and a large person is 200 pounds. I'm assuming everyone watching this more than likely is relatively active, more likely getting in the gym and working out 3 or 4 times a week, trying to build up muscle mass with resistance training, doing some cardio, and trying to eat smaller meals more often, about every 3 hours. Eventually, that's our goal. The whole idea right here is to try and give you the ammunition to start out and figure out the starchy carb intake, which is the key, absolutely the key. Ask any truly natural bodybuilder that's a veteran and really good and maybe a pro, they're going to tell you that's exactly where you need to focus on. And we're all still learning. And I've learned something dramatic here in the last 6 months that has allowed me to make progress above and beyond anything I've done before. And I want to empower you that starchy carbs are your friend. So, small person 150-ish, medium build 175-ish, large person 200 pounds. Let's a framework for the small person. The goal on days that you hit big body part exercises, back, chest, legs. Small person, let's go with 150 grams of starchy carbs is the goal for the day. Medium is 175 for the day. A large person is 200 for the day. Now, for getting in the gym and working other body parts, but it's not super intense like legs, back, or chest. It's a smaller body part day. For the small person, 125 grams is your goal for the day. Medium build person, 150 grams for the day. A large person, 200 grams for the day. That's me today. I'm doing arms. I'm shooting for 200 grams because I'm working a smaller body part day and I'm classified as a bigger guy. Okay? Now, on a day that you're inactive or a day you do cardio for fat burning and you don't do anything physical, for the small person, which we said was a 150-pound person, 30 grams of starchy carbs for the day. Medium person, which is 175-pound person, 60 grams of starchy carbs for the day. Large person, the big boys, 100 grams of starchy carbs for the day. This is a rough framework. This is a starting point. If you think it's too much for you, go 25% less. If you think it's not enough, go a little bit more. And judge how you feel. Pick a starchy carb that sits well with you. Oatmeal works fantastic for me. It's nice and quick and convenient. People who are into fitness and just living the lifestyle competing, they eat the same meals 5-6 times a day. It's easy to prepare. It's easy to eat. And you don't mind. You can indulge a little bit on the weekend with something that you enjoy, but for the most part, Monday through Friday, when you're busy, eat the same meals every 3 hours. It's real easy to figure out how many grams, what kind of food you need to eat. For me, today's 200 grams of starchy carbs goal. A half a cup of oatmeal is 27 grams of carbs, right? So a full cup is 54 grams. So I know I need 4 cups of oatmeal. If I was just going to eat oatmeal for my starchy carbs for the day, to hit my goal of 200 grams for the day. The goal is, whatever you're eating, you slowly want to bump up the amount to do it in 1 week, up everything by about 30 to 40 grams of starchy carbs per day. See how you feel. Once I started to do this, I got bigger, I was stronger, and I was actually getting leaner. So, to wrap this up, I'm losing a little bit of focus. I got guys coming here and biking with me, so I lost my focus. But here's how we're going to wrap up. Carb cycling, reverse dieting, it makes a lot of sense. Where people who diet, they usually severely restrict their calories. I know it's not common logic, but the reverse of that is actually true if you're working out with weights. Dieting may help people that aren't active. But we're not talking about those people. We're talking about athletes like you and I. So we got to reverse diet. We got to slowly implement good carbs into our system. Your body will get used to it, and you'll find out that your workouts go better. You'll gain more muscle, and you lose more fat. Let's see, to wrap it up here. Sorry, I had to write down a few notes. Eat the same meals all the time. We talked about that. The second, what's up, Gip? Hey, Gip, say hi to my fans here. First, this is your second workout, right? How was the workout yesterday? Are you going to work on your nutrition? Are you going to commit to work on your nutrition? All right. What do you got in your hand? All right. There you go. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. That's we're going to start on arms. Yeah, just do light curls. That's a new guy I met down here at Goals. Got him working out. He's going to focus on his nutrition. He's going to use this carb cycling system, and we're going to see how it works for him. I've done it with 10 people already online. It works amazing. The feedback's amazing. The second and last thing, to raise your anabolic hormones naturally. Don't inject testosterone and growth hormone into your system, because that's going to shut down your own body's ability to create those anabolic, fantastic hormones that are going to make us feel young into our 60s, 70s, 80s. The second thing that I've done that's allowed me to make the most gains I've ever made is I've used a product called Growth RX. It's right here. It's very simply, a person that I truly respect researched it out. He combined 4 amino acids, L-arginine, L-arginine, and L-glycine, and some B3s and a watermelon rind extract. High quality, formulated in a special way. I started taking that product about 6 months ago, and it's been a big part of me being able to make gains along with this carb cycling technique. It's called Growth RX. I want to get this video cut short about now, not short, but cut it out now because YouTube limits me on the amount of time that I can put on the video. This is 2 of 22. Next week we're going to do 3 of 22. Please comment below, and we'll talk about a little bit more information about the carb cycling technique and the exact amounts that you want to shoot for that we talked about in this video. And so until next, I got to go get an arm workout. I'm going to tape the guns and see if I can get over 20 and 6/16 for the first time in my life. I feel really good about it. I'll post a picture on Facebook tonight to see how I did. I'm working out with Gift, the guy that I just introduced you to. So there you go, my 2 strategies to boost your anabolic hormones naturally: reverse dieting or carb cycling, introducing good healthy carbs into your system more than you thought slowly, and monitoring your gain. Oh, the last thing, and Growth RX, the natural amino acid complex that has really helped me out a lot. You'll never know what's working and not working if you don't get a scale weight and a tape line measurement once a week. Put that tailored tape measure parallel to the floor, right through the belly button, pull it the same tightness. That's the only way. If the scale weight stays the same and 1/4 to 1/2 inches off that waistline, you know you replace fat with muscle, and that's a great sign. You don't need body composition kits, caliper kits, stuff like that. You can't make changes with your nutrition and not know if it's working or not. You got to have a way to test it. Scale weight, tape line measurement through the waistline, once a week, same time of the day. You'll know exactly if it's working for you or not. So there you go, Darren Steen, Team Steen coming at you. See you for vlog number 3 of 22 next week, 22 weeks out from the big show. I'm real excited. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. 22 weeks out from the big show. I'm real excited. Make the rest of your life the best of your life.